Nandyan na sila! Pinoy Big Brother!
Handa na ang bahay para salubungin ang bagong batch ng housemates. Hello guys, this is your housemate Erica Joyce Navia, and for today's task ay naatasan tayo ni Kuya na magbigay ng short background sa kung ano nga ba ang definition or meaning ng learner-centeredness. Tara! Learner-centeredness is an approach in education wherein the primary focus is to prioritize the learner's active involvement and self-directed learning. Jones 2007 states that in learner-centeredness, learners are only participants in the learning process, while teachers are only facilitators. Teacher-centered approach is a style of teaching wherein the teachers are the main source of knowledge and controls the lesson. Some of the characteristics of this approach are the following. Knowledge is transmitted from professor to student. Professor's role is to be a primary information giver and primary evaluator. Emphasis is on right answers. Only students are viewed as learners. Students just mostly listen, take notes, and follow the teacher's instruction. That's all for teacher-centered approach. Now, let us move on to the characteristics of learner-centered approach. Learner-centered approach is a teaching method where students are the focus of learning process. Some of the characteristics of this approach are the following. Student construct knowledge. Professor's role is to facilitate and coach learning. Emphasis is on generating better questions and learning from errors. Professors and learners learn together. And that's it for learner-centered approach. Ngayon ay tapos na ang ating task. At on the way na para bumalik sa loob ng bahay ni Kuya. Again, ako si Erica Joyce Navia, ang inyong housemate. Bye-bye!
Hello kiddies! I am Marian, and my task is to teach you the things that help us stay motivated and do our best. Are you ready to listen, kiddies?
Yes!
But first, what is motivational? It refers to anything that inspires or encourages a person to take action or achieve their goals. For example, a teacher is praising you for doing well, motivates you to study more. Did you understand?
Yes!
So ready, set, go to the next part. So what is emotional? It's having feelings that are easily existed and openly displayed. Emotions means feelings that are easily triggered and shown, like happiness, anger, or excitement. For example, you smile when you are happy. But wait, did you know that there are 3 principles of motivational and effective factors?
No!
Now, for the super secret clue. First, we have the motivational and emotional influences on learning. So what is this? This is about a student's thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and goals that can affect their learning. For example, a confident student learns faster. Did you understand?
Yes!
Next, we have the intrinsic motivation to learn. So what is intrinsic motivation to learn? It means wanting to learn because you enjoy it or are curious, not because of rewards. It grows when students feel capable and in control of their learning. For example, a student reads more because she loves learning new things. Did you understand?
Yes!
The last one is effects of motivation on effort. So what is effects of motivation on effort? Motivated students put in more effort. Hard lessons need energy, strategy, and persistence, and motivation helps students keep going. For example, a motivated student keep reviewing until she understands the lesson. Did you understand? Now, can you recite the 3 principles of motivational and effective factors? Very good! Now, that's all for today, and thank you for being a good listener. Bye-bye!
Thinking about thinking. Higher order strategies for selecting and monitoring mental operations facilitate creative and critical thinking. Successful learners can reflect on how they think and learn, set performance goals, and monitor their progress toward these goals. They can generate alternative methods to reach their goal when a problem occurs, like in progressing towards their goal. Instructional methods that focus on helping learners develop this higher order or the metacognitive strategies can enhance student learning. Thinking about thinking or the metacognition. So, ang metacognition ay ang pag-iisip tungkol sa iniisip mo. Ito ay ang kakayahang i-monitor ang sarili. For example, you are asking yourself, naiintindihan ko ba ito? Ano ang best strategy ko? Next, we have context of thinking. Learning is influenced by environmental factors, including technology and culture, and also the instructional practices. In the context of thinking, teachers play a major interactive role with both the learner and the learning environment. The classroom environment has significant impacts on student learning. Also, cultural or group influences on students can impact many educationally relevant variables, such as motivation and ways of thinking. Technologies and instructional practices must be appropriate for learners' level of prior knowledge, cognitive abilities, and their learning and thinking strategies. Context of thinking. Malaki ang epekto ng environment sa pag-iisip. Nakapaloob dito ang kultura, pamilya, at social settings na sila yung nakaka-impluwensya sa kung paano ipoproseso yung impormasyon ng isang learner.
So our topic for today is all about construction of knowledge and strategic thinking. Now let's start with construction of knowledge. Construction of knowledge is the active and dynamic process of building new understanding by linking new information to prior experiences and knowledge. So it also involves individual and social engagement, critical thinking, and collaboration. So its key components is active participation, prior knowledge, individual and social engagement, critical thinking, and authentic contexts. So let's start with active participation. Active participation is when individuals engage with information through activities like interpreting, analyzing, and synthesizing, rather than just being passive recipients. So next is prior knowledge. Prior knowledge in new information is integrated with existing knowledge frameworks, which is serving as a foundation for building new understanding. Third is individual and social engagement. It is when knowledge is constructed through individual reflection and social interactions, such as dialogue and collaborations. So fourth is critical thinking. Critical thinking is involving evaluating information, identifying patterns, and generating new ideas and conclusions. Last key context or key component is authentic context. It is when knowledge construction thrives in real-world environments that present relevant problems and experiences. So that's for construction of knowledge. Now let's go to the next topic, which is strategic thinking. Strategic thinking is when processes of analyzing situations, identifying patterns, and making informed decisions to achieve goals. It also involves thinking ahead, anticipating challenges, and leveraging strengths to create effective plans. It also applies different across learning contexts. It also has key components, which is learning, reasoning, problem solving, and concept learning. So strategic learning is when choosing and applying effective approaches to learn, such as planning, monitoring, and adjusting strategies. Next is reasoning. Reasoning is using logic, evidence, and structured thought processes to form sound judgments. Third is problem solving. It is when identifying problems, exploring solutions, selecting effective strategies, and evaluating outcomes. Fourth is concept learning. It is organizing information, recognizing relationships, and understanding underlying principles to grasp abstract ideas. So to summarize it, the construction of knowledge is an active, dynamic process where individuals build new understanding by linking new information to their prior experiences and knowledge. This process also involves individual and social engagement, critical thinking, and collaboration, enabling individuals to interpret, analyze, and synthesize information to create their new own meaning. For strategic thinking, it complements this process by analyzing situations, identifying patterns, and making it informed decisions to achieve goals. It involves thinking ahead, anticipating challenges, and leveraging strengths to create effective plans, ultimately helping individuals to learn effectively, reason soundly, solve problems, and grasp complex concepts.
This domain refers to previous experiences and learning preparations of students, as well as interpersonal relations between teachers and students that influence current learning. As an individual develops, there are different opportunities and constraints for learning. So as we grow, numerous opportunities will present themselves to us, yet there will also be constraints or challenges that we must overcome in order to reach our goal in life. The various developmental characteristics must be seriously considered or taken into consideration. For example, when teaching a large group of students, we cannot expect them to have the same intellectual, emotional, and social domains because we are all different. So to properly teach everyone, a varied teaching approach is really necessary. Learning is effective when it is in line with a person's physical, intellectual, emotional, and social development, which means developmental and social aspects are important influences on learning. Individuals learn best when materials are appropriate to their developmental level, is presented in an enjoyable and interesting way, because individual development varies across intellectual, social, emotional, and physical domains. Achievement in different instructional domains may also vary. We can all agree on this since we can easily understand our teacher's lesson if he or she presents them using materials including the topics and activities that are appropriate for our developmental level and delivered in an engaging and exciting manner. Often, some learners are not learning well because there is a mismatch between the learner's activity and the learner's developmental stage. For example, when teaching elementary kids, the material we use should correspond to their level of comprehension and interest so that they can relate, enjoy, and comprehend how can they possibly understand if the lessons we are teaching them are too complex for them. Given that they are young, we can expect that their minds are still young and developing. So teachers must take into an account how student minds are wired as well as their interests and behaviors.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Miss Lawrence. Yay! So today let's talk about the nature of learning process. The nature of learning process is the learning of complex subject matter is most effective when it's intentional process of constructing meaning from information and experience. So what did you all experience from childhood? My mom begins to say, I should say, Mama. Can you hear it? Mama. Yeah, that is example of the nature of learning process. Then how about our next game? It's also learning by games which entertain people. So let's go. Let's do the game. Yeah, go. Wow, you did great. Now, that's all for today. Thank you.
Ang susunod na programa ay rated G. Ito ay pwede sa lahat ng manonood.
Hi again. Welcome back. So did you enjoy the game? Now, let's talk about the goals of the learning process. Yay! So what is the goals of the learning process? Do you know it? I think Doris knows it. But now, let's talk about what it really is. So, it says that the successful learner over time with the support of the instructional guidance can create meaningful, coherent representation of knowledges. So it means throughout the time, the process itself is learn new things. For example, the experiences we gather for our everyday life, the new technologies that we acquire from each people, and also for us college students who learn from our professor. And let's have another activity. Are you go for it? Go! So our next activity involves the process of learning, which is in the pattern. Let's dive deep in it. Yeah!
everyone! Welcome to Individual Difference. I am Julia, a magayon kang bakon, sorsogon. Today I will be discussing the factors of individual difference, focusing on 3 topics. The 3 topics are individual differences in learning, learning and diversity, and lastly, standards and assessments. Learners in every classroom differ in many ways: abilities, interests, backgrounds, learning styles, and cultural experiences. These differences shape how they learn, interact, and succeed. Understanding individual difference factors helps teachers design instruction that is inclusive, meaningful, and effective for all learners. Let us proceed to the first topic, which is individual differences in learning. Individual differences in learning refer to the unique characteristics that influence how each learner processes information and responds to instruction. The key factors affecting learning are cognitive abilities, learning styles or preferences, motivation and interest, personality differences, and prior knowledge. So what is the importance in teaching? First, it helps teachers adjust strategies so all students can learn effectively. Second, promotes fairness by serving each learner's unique needs. And last, encourages active participation and better learning outcomes. Now let us proceed to the second topic, which is learning and diversity. Diversity refers to differences in learners' cultural, linguistic, socioeconomic, and personal backgrounds. So these are the forms of diversity. The first one is cultural diversity, linguistic diversity, socioeconomic diversity, and lastly, inclusive needs and abilities. So what is cultural diversity? Cultural diversity refers to the presence of people from different cultures, traditions, beliefs, customs, and ways of life within a community or classroom. In simple terms, people come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions. Example, in one classroom, some students celebrate Christmas, others celebrate Ramadan, and some different family traditions. Linguistic diversity. Linguistic diversity means that people speak different languages or dialects, or use different levels of language fluency. In simple terms, students do not all speak the same language or have the same level of English or Filipino. Example, a student who recently moved from Korea speaks little English, while another student speaks English and Filipino fluently. Socioeconomic diversity. Socioeconomic diversity refers to the difference in people's economic status, such as income level, access to resources, or living conditions. In simple terms, some students come from wealthier families, while others have fewer financial resources. One example is a student has a laptop and stable internet at home, while another only accesses the internet through a mobile phone. Lastly, the inclusive needs and abilities.
This refers to recognizing that students have different abilities, learning needs, and physical or cognitive conditions, and ensuring the classroom includes and supports them all.
So why does diversity matter on learning? It promotes respect, acceptance, and empathy among students. Teachers can interrogate culturally relevant examples to make lessons meaningful. It encourages different perspectives, enhancing creativity and problem solving. And lastly, it ensures that the learning is more
fair and inclusive for all students.
So here are the strategies teachers can do for diverse classrooms. 1 is use varied teaching methods. Examples are visuals, hands-on activities, and discussions. Another one is provide language support for multilingual learners. Applied, differentiated instruction, adjust tasks based on students' needs. Create inclusive environments where every learner is valued. Now let us proceed to the last topic, which is standards and assessment. Standards and assessments help measure learning progress while guiding instructional goals. Educational standards. Standards define what students should know and be able to do at each grade level. They ensure consistency, fairness, and alignment across learning areas. Examples include learning competencies in K-12 curriculum. So these are the types of assessments. 1 is formative assessment, summative assessment, authentic assessment, and diagnostic assessment.
Now let us proceed to the importance of fair assessment for diverse learners. 1. It ensures that students are evaluated based on their ability, not background.
Matches assessments to students' learning styles and abilities. Helps identify learning gaps and plan targeted interventions. And lastly, encourages growth mindset through feedback and reflection. In conclusion, individual different factors have a major impact on teaching and learning. By understanding learners' unique needs, respecting diversity, and using fair standards and assessments, teachers can create an exclusive classroom where all students have equal opportunities to succeed. Adapting strategies to these differences ensures meaningful learning, improved performance, and positive student development.
Big Brother.